What's up, guys? We're going to be talking about editing in this part of the class using CapCut. Now, this is one of my favorite apps when it comes to mobile video editing. Of course, there's rivals, but I would highly suggest using this one. I think this app is very beginner friendly, and it also rivals some of the professional editors like Premiere. And I've used Premiere for a very long time. So let's get started. There's some cool stuff up here that you guys can play with, as you can see on the screen, but we're not going to jump into all that right now. So you're going to start by pressing a new project, and we're just going to use the clips from the pitch video that we were talking about earlier. Now you select the little bubbles that are in each corner of the clip. That is how you will select what you want to use. But keep in mind that if you don't press a bubble and you just press the picture, you're able to crop sections out of the video. This will be very helpful if you have like a 5 or 10 minute video and you only want like 10 seconds out of all that instead of having to trim it when you put it in the timeline. So to do that, you press it, crop, and then skills and energy when it comes. Crop the part that you want. It'll have that little crop symbol in the bottom left that'll show you cropped out a piece of whatever that clip was. A lot of skills and energy when it comes to being. A lot of skills. Okay, so after that, you're just gonna click add at the bottom right, and then this is the timeline. Now you can zoom into the timeline by using 2 fingers, and that'll show you everything from 1 to 2 seconds. And if you keep zooming in, you'll also go by frame. So this is how you do frame by frame editing if you just need to get something very specific cut out. Zoom out here. You can see it goes from 0 to 10 to 20 seconds and so forth. Now, every time you start a new CapCut edit, it's going to have CapCut endings. I don't know why they do this, but make sure you go and select that and click delete. So, because that will show up in your video once it's time to upload. All right, so we're not going to edit too much of this main clip. This is our A-roll clip. We're not going to edit too much of it to where like it actually makes sense, but I want to show you guys some cool tricks. So what I like to do, you see that I'm talking right here. I want to split that by clicking the bottom left, and you see that it splits this clip into 2 different clips. Now what I like to do is midway through talking, I like to zoom in on that second clip. We can split that. So you'll see that it zooms in while I'm in the middle of talking. All right, I think that adds a little bit more pizzazz to your video and flow, which makes it really cool. You can also add transitions by clicking these white cubes between each clip. So let's add one of those. And I'm a pro member, so I have access to all the pro stuff, but there's a lot of good stuff for free. That's what I love about CapCut. You don't have to be a pro member to get a lot of utilization out of this app. They have really cool stuff on here. So let's just use a free one. Let's do the pull out. Pull out, that's funny. All right, anyways, so you'll see that it does the pull out effect right there. You can add that throughout the clip. Don't get too crazy with the transitions. Like you don't want to, generally you want to stick with the same type of transitions. Like if it's pull out or pull in, like keep that consistent throughout your edit. Don't like pull out, pull in, and then scribble, and then Photoshop, and then old film. Like you don't want to, do that way. That's extra. So try to avoid that if you can. So we already got splitting the clip, which you guys know how to do. You just select it and then it's in the bottom left. Then you got speed. You want to go to normal, and then you can change the speed of your clip. That'll come in handy if you're like on a time limit and you don't have anything to get rid of and you just kind of want to speed it up to save on some time. So keep that in mind. Let's see what else we got. Enhance voice and isolate voice, which is pretty self-explanatory. Won't get too much into that. Camera tracking. If you click AI movement, it'll move the camera for you. Hopefully this will show you an example. I don't know why it's taking forever to load. Let's try this one more time. Click that. And then, did I lose it? Where'd it go? Camera tracking. AI, there we go. Now you can see how like the AI will move the camera on those examples below. I won't really show you guys, but it's there in case you guys want to use it. And then overlay, that's for B-roll. So right now we're on the A-roll clip here. Let's assume that actually, I'm just going to show you guys so you guys can see. So you can press that plus right there on the far right of your timeline to add in extra clips. This right here is a clip of me dancing, and then we'll add that there. So you see that it's on the A-roll clip, and we don't want it to be there. Ooh, not transition. So we're going to select that and then click overlay, and you see that it moves it over to the B-roll part of the timeline. We can drag that anywhere where we want it to be. And now we have B-roll that overlays our voice here. You'll hear me talking too. My name is Sanchez, and I live in Phoenix. Now, you'll see that we run into an issue where you can hear the music and my voice, and you do not want that with most of your B-roll clips. So what you want to do is make sure we'll unselect it. Make sure you select the B-roll clip, go to volume, and turn the volume down. And now there's no more dance music. My name is Sanchez. You can still hear my voice. Cool. So with B-roll, you can also add animations by clicking animations. There's in and out animations, and you'll see that it comes in that way. I can go to out. I don't use out animations too much, but if you want to go for it, you can also play around with how long the animation takes to complete, and then it'll play that way. So that is B-roll. What else do we have to go over? You can also put the B-roll back on the main track, and it says main track there, and it'll put it right back up where the A-roll is. I'm going to hit undo so it goes back to where it is. And then layering will come in handy when you have multiple layers of B-roll. So you'll be able to switch the B-roll down, because you can put up to like 3 or 4 layers underneath this, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Everything else, filters, is like just to spice up your video, give it more of a customized look. Don't go too crazy with these. I like to keep them around 40 to 50 or below. Sometimes it can look a little weird if you have the intensity turned all the way up to like 100, depending on which one that you choose. So keep that in mind. And then mask, motion blur, stabilize, opacity. That'll help you like turn the opacity down for a video, which can come in handy sometimes. Obviously, there's reverse, self-explanatory. You guys got all that. All right, guys, so that is pretty much it there. We talked about the audio. Let's talk about text in case you want to get things captioned up. You just go back, click text on the main page, auto captions, and then you can select which captions that you guys want to use. This will really come in handy if you're doing organic stuff, but sometimes brands will want their stuff transcribed. So you just click whatever you want and then click generate. And it takes about literally 5 or 6 seconds to get everything generated, and you'll be able to adjust things how you want them adjusted. Just keep in mind that when you have things, when you have text, you rarely want it to be this low. I like to kind of decrease the size and bring it up to about here. So in that way it doesn't run into, it doesn't get overlaid by the hood options on the apps such as like TikTok and Instagram, because you'll see like the like button and the comment button that'll mess up. It'll overlay on top of your text and it'll look weird. So keep that in mind. Real quick, if you want to change the color of this stuff, you can add in all your fonts and stuff, but you'll go to styles, and then let's say I want that orange to be yellow, because most of the stuff I put on my stuff is yellow. Or most of the colors I put on my text is yellow. That's what I meant to say. Sorry, guys. And then you can add a background on there too, and also change the color, you know. So there's a lot of different options that you can add on here and play around with if you guys want to do that. But again, keep in mind about what might get covered in your videos. So I believe that is everything. Aspect ratio will help you. If you're not familiar with aspect ratios, this will kind of lay everything out for you and what they look like. And then filters, adjust, background. Yeah, guys. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the basics of how to edit using CapCut. And you're pretty much set and ready to go. So in order to export, you're going to click this top button in the right corner, click that, and then save it to your device, and you'll be good to go from there.